Hello, welcome to MD Media Show. Today we are here with a special program on art for charity, and I'm joined by Q.rap, MODP, and Goitom Tagan from TDRF. The reason for having this show is we have a special donors program, if you will, in terms of Q.rap's latest album, Wagihudagana, literally translating has it down yet or is it down yet? And that we have a deadline until January 18th, which would be in 4 days from today, uh, for people to buy and enjoy his creative work, at the same time helping the people of Tigray who are suffering from famine, hunger, and everything related to the genocidal war that has been going on since October 2020. And Goitom Tagan is from TDRF and will be speaking live with the artist, Q.rap, and Goitom. Gentlemen, welcome to MD Media Show.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you for having us, bro.
Great. So first off, Wagihuda Ghana. We'll come to that, with 10 collection. It's a collection of 10 songs, and we'll talk about that a bit. But for our audience who maybe for the first time hearing about Q.rap, I just want you to paint a picture for us in terms of your journey. Interesting journey. I have followed some of the interviews you gave from Nabalet to where you are now, and doing something for a cause is not your first time. I gathered you have done something in relation to use in Somalia as well in the past. So, Q.rap, please tell us your journey from Nabalet to Tigray to Magala, Kenya, and the US.
First of all, thank you for having me again. My name is Kabram Bariu, aka Q.rap MODB, the rapper. I was born in Nabalet, a small village back in the day, especially when I was a kid. It was smaller. Now it's although getting bigger. And I grew up between Nabalet and Magala, where my grandma used to live. And so, when I get in trouble with my mom, then I'm with my grandmother. So it was a fun childhood. And then at some point, we immigrated with my father to Nairobi, Kenya. So in Kenya, over 10 years, learned Kiswahili in my childhood pretty quickly, and fell in love with music. Kenyans have this reggae and hip hop culture introduced pretty early in the 1998, 2000s and stuff. So, I grew up listening to Snoop Dogg and Tupac, Eazy-E, Ice Cube and stuff like that. So, and then, the love of music grew in me. And at some point, I started making music standing against Al-Shabaab around that time, 2007, 2008. Pretty much Al-Shabaab was in control of most of Somalia. The government only had Mogadishu airport areas, surrounding areas in control. So I journeyed all the way there, ended up in Portland, and dropped the album in 2008 with a group called Wayaha Asud. So I was very stubborn from early on. I didn't like bullies, either government or anything at all. It's not my thing.
Thank you so much. I gather the Wagihuda Ghana is your second album.
Yes, related to Tigray, with the current situation with the past 3 years and plus, I would say 3, because I had a 6-song called "How Did We Get Here?" That was the beginning of the war. Nobody heard it. And then the second time, I did a whole bunch of songs, and then I did what they did to us, and then this is the third album related to Tigray. So pretty much third.
Great. So let's talk about Tigray. I think many people, if if it was not for the genocidal war of 2020, many people they were living their lives, so to speak, including myself and many people, I guess. But then that war uh, happened, and Tigray was under siege. Actually, arguably, we can say that it's still under siege effectively. How and in what circumstance did you hear about the war, and when and how did it start in terms of your involvement, and what led to today's art and charity?
For me, pretty much my whole life, it was never about me being a Tigray. It was always been Ethiopian. Proud with the flag, proud with the history. Wherever I go, anybody that foreigners that I interact with on my daily basis with music or social life. But at some point when the war started, in fact, before the war started, when the food blockage was starting out slowly, things were happening, fundings were getting cut off. Um, they started to kick in that trouble was coming. And sure enough, trouble did come, and it came full force. Everybody was blinded by a momentum lie by the government, and everybody wanted to hate us as people instead of hating uh, you know, political persons and whatnot. And so for me, it was building up, but around 6 months into the conflict, after TDF retook Makala, my own friends in my own circle, in my own music record label, that are Ethiopians, non-Tigrayans, most of them you can tell, because I wasn't even that kind. I didn't have that kind of mentality, but they said some hurtful things that didn't make sense to me, and I ended up, kicking everybody out of the group and devoted my life to telling the truth and our history because I felt like the love of our country as Ethiopians has hidden certain, um, identity histories that we could be flaunting about. And so I just started making records, and maybe some of them are angry songs, but given the circumstances of the killing, innocence, and everything, if priests and religion leaders can openly preach a genocide on people, I think I have the right to make hurtful records and whatnot. So that's how I started.
Great. Goitom, I know we have done a number of shows both in Tigrinya and in English here regarding to DRF. So again, maybe it's time to remind what to DRF is, how it was established, and what it does. I must say for our viewers, UMD Media has been following closely what TDRF is doing excellently for for the record. But it's very good if you can give us an overview of how it was started and where it's now and what kind of activities doing.
Thank you so much, Professor Getachew. We are very much grateful for the multiple opportunities UMD Media has provided, and we have always relied on your support with regard to voicing the campaigns that we are having, and of course, promoting and pushing it to the public as well. And thank you, Q.rap. It's a pleasure collaborating with you. I say this is one of the most innovative campaigns that we are doing, and it's really a great pleasure to work with your team as well. For those following us today who would like to hear more about what TDRF is, TDRF, the Tigray Disaster Relief Fund, is actually a non-profit based in the US, which was established in 2018, so about 5 years ago now. Few Tigrayan diaspora members really came together to establish a formal response to what was happening in Ethiopia, where a lot of Tigrayans were being pushed out of various parts of Ethiopia for ethnic targeting. And then that really created a large size of Tigrayans, about 50,000 of them fleeing to Sudan and elsewhere. So there was a need for, we have to do something, and that's how TDRF was established by these very concerned diaspora members. Ever since establishment, the main goals are to provide humanitarian relief support when in need. But of course, the other second ambition is to kind of create a platform for Tigray where generations will be inspired to be innovative in various aspects, including education and, of course, boosting sustainable agriculture, doing a lot of developmental intervention. That's the key goal that we would like to land together with our communities around the world. Unfortunately, the last 5 years have been very bumpy for Tigray and for the people of Tigray. And it was disaster after disaster, issues really rising from time to time. So we always have to, it's very difficult to predict what's next. But of course, we have been in this process where we say we have to mobilize and we have to provide a very transparent and then, of course, reliable way of raising funds and putting them into implementation. We found establishing a platform a necessary step in this regard, which actually is one of the best things TDRF has done. And when it comes to implementation, the biggest thing we rely on is partnership with nonprofits mainly that are working on the ground in Tigray. So with that, we have done so many campaigns helping the Ida Referral Hospital, one of our main campaigns that we did a few years ago. There was support to those who were internally displaced within Tigray and those within Ethiopia, and then those who went to Sudan and stayed in the refugee camps. Other campaigns included the Healing with Hope campaign we did about a year ago, and which is still under implementation. Later on, I can provide a couple of details to build on what we have done previously with you here at UMD. And currently, we are gladly collaborating with our brother Q.rap on his album. He provided generously his album pre-sale for 2 weeks, which actually we believe the promotion is really building at this moment, and we feel there is a need for more days to put. We are not sure if Q.rap will surprise us with some information, but we are very much glad that a lot, to begin with, Q.rap's team is a very strong team that's collaborating with TDRF, but his friends, the whole art ecosystem that he's actually present, we learned he has a lot of respect from everyone. He has a lot of love from the Tigray community. We can see from all these artists from Tigray and from the rest of the world putting up videos promoting the Wogi Hedogana campaign. We are really, really happy to see that, and we hope we'll hit some good target with this campaign and be able to help our people.
Great. Thank you, Goitom. I think we lost the connection to Q.rap, and hope he will join us back. Speaking to that topic of how others are promoting this and supporting this collaboration, let me just play a short clip where Merkab and others are speaking to the same subject.
أمات عمل عالم نتركه وتجارو دك عدي كمان فتوت تجارون كمان لهم
شيء عنا هولي يا رمكابيلي
سلام دك ريمي ما يدخلون اللي
ذكرنا أما غنكم سلامات
سلام دك عدي خميل لهم فوتونا جرس لا سيب بحال
ناي Q.rap ألبوم نخل تسومون نخون دقنا
مستيري عارف بمتحب بار نخل تسومونات زخونو مئتي بمئتي أتحاويو حزبنا نمدحان زوعل
حدش ألبوم ملء تقريني ألبوم أنا وين بقول التساتف كله مالتيو أو عراقة كعليو
مساوي سوي نايزا ألبوم 100% نهزبي كبركتو إيه لله
نعم تزكمل تشجر هزبنا
أتاويو هزبنا نمدحان زوعل
ملء بملء أتاويو لهزبنا نمدحان زوعليو أنا حرفون التساتف كله سرحيو
ساعتفنا لينا الألبوم جزء زقرم سرحية حرف سرحتي حرف هيب هاب تقرني تسمعكم
نخيت تساتفوا بخبرين قدام
كلهم بزقات أمزو تساتفتي تخونوا
قدميها بيوتيوبن كالو ستريمينج بلاتفورم الملكاغنا نخلي تسومون زخون اكسكلوسيفلي ناي ألبوم شيات غوسغوس تعدمكم لهم
كلهم بتساتفوا تصاويتي غرب
Yeah, so maybe on the for our viewers, I have pinned the link to donate, and that is I just want to share with you the screen so that Goitom can also guide us through that, how to do it. It should be easy. Goitom, this is a link to the album. So maybe if we can walk through that, I would be showing, what's on the screen. Goitom.
Yes, as you can see on the website, we spend quite a good amount of time really building on the information that has to be put on the website. And what we did is we tried to kind of, in a summary, convey what the message is basically, but the steps are quite clear and very few in number. So one has to go to the website and see which number of albums they would like to buy to contribute. So this is unique in a way that we are not really asking only for donation from people. We're giving out an amazing artwork of a very great collaboration of Tigrayan artists here who are on top of the game of Tigrinya hip hop. And that's a wonderful thing. Mostly campaigns would focus on gathering money and they don't really put out anything back. So this is really valuable. We are selling an album mainly. And then, of course, a generous donation from the artists is coming to support our people. The steps are quite easy. We put up one album sale for $14.99, and then that's the smallest contribution one can make here. But of course, you can buy multiple albums, 3, 5 of them, or 10 of them. And you can do that again and again to actually contribute a little bit more as well. Once someone actually picks this and proceeds with the payment, they will receive a link. It immediately takes them to download the album, but of course, also they get an email with a link for extra downloads of the album if they wish to do, and plus a receipt for the payment that they have done. So we made it a very brief, simple step of purchase that anyone can do. And so far, we're not really finding any issues with regard to following these steps. But whenever there are, we are also allowing our team to be right there to support people who have any issues. But so far, it has been a very successful process.
Okay, great. Q.rap, welcome back. We lost your connection. Maybe one of the things that our viewers, you can find it pinned on YouTube as well, but it's on the screen as well. This is donorbox.org/Wegihudo _ Ghana. So WEGIHUDO _GENA, Wegihudo Ghana, which is title, the theme of the album. Maybe Q.rap, just pick it from there. Wegihudo Ghana. What was in your mind when you come up with both in terms of the title of the album, but also one of the main songs is Wegihudo Ghana?
Sorry for the connection earlier. The album came around about the time, the guns were silent, supposedly to some degree. And around the time, mothers were finding out the life of their children, the loss of their children, and everybody, we all here in diaspora were feeling it really hard. And, it was a very bad time. So the first record, Wegihudo Ghana, came about that time with that reason, with that pain in mind. And the rest of the records, fell just in place with certain, different things that I had in my mind going on. So it just directs to leaders, mostly. Okay, we are here at some point at a better stage where the guns are silent at some point, like I said, even though, some parts of Tigray are still under, Eritrean army and the Fano militias and whatnot. But also it says, okay, now that we got the peace, the Pretoria Agreement peace deal, where are we at? Is it done yet? As people are gonna be in peaceful mind, and are we gonna have everything back to normal again, even though we're not gonna have the life loss and the damage that's been done? Can we have the peace of mind as people, is what it says. And the question, of course, goes to the leaders, because I made sure I gave the late Meles Zenawi speech as the opening of the album, because that record is specifically a question to the leaders.
I think the when I listened to that, in terms of the genocidal war, the speech that included, it kind of saw this coming. Of course, it was talking about what was the situation there, but for many, what is the big question is why every 10 years or every 20 years, and whether it's war or famine, hunger, it's about the poor people, millions of people suffering, and just a vicious circle, so to speak. So you are questioning, but also at the same time you are maybe also showing if there is a hope, and seizing to that hope. Goitom, for this specific campaign, you are alluding to, yes, we are left with 4 days now, but in terms of the plan, the collaboration, and so on, what is on the table in terms of TDRF? Is it for a specific project? Because you were mentioning there were a number of projects, and the demand is very high, as you know, and people are contributing everywhere. But this is not even contribution. You are just getting an artwork, in your hand.
Yes, indeed. I think with regard to themes, normally our campaigns would be very much defined about where they will be going when it comes to raising donation and implementing it. In the case of Q.rap's album, what we agreed on is that the biggest problem at hand at this point in Tigray is that a famine is unfolding, and which target group, which part of our community will be benefiting from this will be secondary work. As we do the campaign, we're going to define which specific community, because we have teams on ground in Tigray working mainly also on the Healing with Hope implementation together with a lot of partners. And we will be identifying which part of our communities are really under very, very, how would I say, immediate need. It's millions of people really facing a famine, but some parts of Tigray, we hear really, really devastating news out of them where people are dying in dozens and in hundreds. So once this campaign ends, we are going to put a decision on where that has to be implemented. But of course, it will be for relief for those who are facing famine. So that's actually the main pin that we have put on the campaign for now.
Great. Q.rap, before, when you were disconnected, I was showing this short clip where a number of artists and your colleagues were talking about this campaign and your work and so on, where you were also featured in that. So how does it look like in terms of other group as colleagues and people who are in the same let's say level in terms of understanding what's happening, also what you can provide? How are you working together?
So far, the artists have been supportive. They've been promoting as much as they could. I think we are the MODB Music Group is the first to ever do this, and I think it's kind of gonna inspire a lot of them to do it. We might not be as big as Quincy Jones and Michael Jackson, who can do We Are the World concert and raise $100 million, but if we are united with the artists, everybody that's in our industry, within our community, and tour to Europe and the United States as well, and do something huge. But for the time being, by collaborating with this amazing organization, TDRF, and his team, we have been able to push with this clips with the different artists endorsing this act of, I don't know, a teamwork, I would say, act of, because it's both my team and TDRF putting the hard work day and night. So this is from us to the people of Tigray. It goes without saying. Also, I appreciate the medias like yourself that's exposing this message. So we are hoping for a big impact. One thing I want to say is that we are officially going to extend the album sale for 10 more days. We got approved this morning. So officially we have 14 days left. We can do so much with the publication that we've gotten now. Excuse me. We can do so much with the media help. If everybody shares this message, I think we can motivate a lot of Tagaru and friends of Tagarus to purchase $15 per piece, or you could do more if you want to make a bigger impact. And I'm more happier today because we will be able to do this. And the body of work in this album is incredible. I will assure you as an artist, there's so many fun songs and there's always hopeful songs in there, as well as, like we said, so many questionable, love letters to to our people and then also to the leaders.
Great. This is, I'm sure, Goitom, you want to say something about the extension of by 10 days. This is a great news.
This is very wonderful news because practically that's the experience we have. The momentum of our campaigns builds towards the end. So more days would mean we're going to generate more people will buy the album. And I'm so glad Q.rap and his production line has agreed to this. We thank you so much, and we still have to do a lot to gain the attention and actually spread the word. Yeah, more media coverage, more promotion, and then we'll try our best to pass a little bit of considerable amount of money to Tigray. Yeah, thank you so much, Q.rap.
No problem.
Great. So our viewers, taking that opportunity, like I said, we have pinned that link, but you are also looking at the address to that, donorbox.org/wogihodogena, which is the title of the album. And please, those who are following us live, buy your copy or more copies. We are still in the Christmas season. So until maybe the Epiphany season soon. So, and even in some places, it's the season of wedding and so on. So just consider this as a gift, as part of your gift packages to friends and family. And I want everyone to share as well, everywhere you are, from LinkedIn to Twitter, Facebook, and so on. So that this impact could be greater. The need, the demand is very, very high, and there are very few organizations that do what they do excellently. And here, art and charity coming together, this is very, very important. We have seen it in Ukraine, we are seeing it in Palestine, everywhere. When people of some skilled talent like artists just come together with an organization like TDRF, the impact could be huge. So I request everyone to share, to buy their own copy. Before we finish this Q.rap, I know the war has brought you and everyone else where we are now. Any plans in terms of upcoming work? I'm not specifically asking about related to charity, but in general, your work of art you want to share with our audience.
I'm always gonna do a better projects, and because this battle is gonna take a while. I know hailing our people is not gonna be something we can do in instant. So I as a Tigray, I just want to devote some part of my life to towards that cause, even if I'm is recording it in musically and film. I also do filmings and stuff. So I'm coming up with 2 more albums before I give it up on the Tigrinya side of music. I will do 1 more album next year called Nitab, and then 1 more Yukwanani. And I will release few films and biographies in here and there. I'll try to tell story. Also, the upcoming project will be with Chidiare. I'm hoping for another.
Okay, yeah, we lost you a bit. So you are talking about coming up with something with TDRF.
I'm hoping upon this implementation of this project, how it goes, we might work together to do a bigger project with my tour. You never know. Goitom got to do some work around magic stuff. We'll talk about it, but along the way, I just want to let everybody know this is just a beginning. I want to do more. I want everybody else that works with me to do more, and I want to thank everybody on the album: Mampa, Alula Mampa, Yaru Makaveli, Marka Bonitwa, Pure Brook, our sister Fortuna Gabriel and also every media like UMD. Thank you for helping us with this promotion, and we hope to see you in the next campaign and next movement again.
Awesome, great. It's great to have you. Goitom, anything in terms of TDRF, your collaboration with Q.rap, or any anyone you are collaborating with and any projects that you are working on?
Yes, definitely. Today we mainly focus on Wagihidogena as an active campaign, but we would like a chance to come back to UMD in any way, anytime soon, to give you an update on the Healing with Hope project that we are implementing in Tigray. A lot of progress has been made there, and it has been a great amount of donation from Tigrayans and people who love Tigray, which is actually making good things happen in Tigray. So for that part, we're going to need another session where we're going to discuss updates. For now, the main focus is Wagihudagana as a campaign, and a lot of appreciation to Q.rap and his team. And honestly, I see he has actually abandoned everything else during this campaign time. He's putting a lot of time. We're really sending him to all these media outlets, and he's pushing. He drives the team discussions that we do. He starts it in the morning. He's the last one to go to bed. So I think his energy is viral and really pushing us from behind to kind of do great things. We thank you, Q.rap. And I also want to extend a message that this collaboration is unique, and we want all those who participate in this to understand the need for Tigray to heal, to grow, to prosper, to become more better, for our people to survive and really make it through these difficult times. We need to build institutions that will actually be accountable to everything that we are doing. In the process of it, this small contribution of $15, this small contribution of buying a few albums is not only about saving our people, it's about envisioning a rather better way of providing support to our people. And that's why we call everybody's participation in this, all Tigrayans, the elderly, the youth, the children, everybody can actually tune to Q.rap's great album. Finally, I would love to say Q.rap has done an amazing job putting this artwork, which is actually focused on what is happening in Tigray, in another way, documenting the whole genocide. So it's good enough to see Q.rap's Adedai album, to see how a Tigrayan mother, or Tigray as a whole, has suffered from all this genocidal war. And a few years later, this is what we are going to use as documentation to just know what has happened to us. That's actually going to be part of our curriculum. And we are documenting history as we try to help our people. And that's why this is very, very important. And thank you so much for the opportunity UMD Media has availed today.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Awesome. Yeah, I mean, I see this appreciation for quality in both sides of the collaboration. I must say, I saw the cinematographic, the lyrics, everything. So, if not for donation, just get your copy. But if you get it through this link, again, I want to share back this link. It will be 100% to DRF. Now we have 14 days, 10 days added. Please do that. And I hope we'll get back to you. I mean, we will come back again to report on the success of this campaign and every campaign that will come with to DRF. Before I sign off for this program, I'll be back. I just want to let our audience that we'll be back with our H panel today at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. It will be talking the ramifications of Ethiopia-Somaliland port deal. And I'll be joined by Faisal Robla, Ezgal Gabisa, and Alamayo Lemariam. So tune in back to UMD Media at 7 p.m. Eastern Time today. Q.rap, Goitom Tagay, thank you so much for your time. Have a good night.
Thank you so much, Professor. And for those who are watching, we thank you so much for your. Take care.
Thank you.
Great. Okay, see you later, everyone. And as you exit, as you sign off as well, please, if you haven't done, share, like, subscribe, and make sure that you buy your own copy of Wagihudagana. Good day.